Now with Executive Master Chef of City Dock Restaurant, Robert Cillizza. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Great. You look like you had the high and tight tightened up right before.
I do it every time before I get here.
No, you do it.
Well, I do it and the barber does it, but I pay for it and she does it.
I
So.
thought you might have had the clippers and, done it your...
No, sometimes you can do that, but then if you cut it too close, but you get to sleep another 10 minutes because you can wash your face and comb your hair at the same time. So it's easier to do it this way.
Look, you have many skills, not the least of which is cooking, and today we're making chicken marsala. So if you want to jot this recipe down or follow along with us this morning, we've got our list of ingredients. Why don't you tell folks what we'll be using?
Okay, we got the regular sliced mushroom, just a regular button mushroom. Go ahead and slice it. And we have the sliced onions. The best onions to use are Vidalia onions, but they're kind of hard to get right now. So that's why I have a little bit of sugar with me, so I can add it to that and sweeten it up a little bit.
Okay.
Of course, this will be the roux that I'll make the flour and the butter. And then I got salt and pepper, and the flour that I'll show you, I'm going to dust the chicken after I do it.
Okay, and a whole lot more butter.
A whole lot more butter, because you like butter.
Now, the secret ingredient that you hadn't mentioned yet is in the bottle.
Well, that'll be last time. When I pour it in, I'll tell you about Cabrelli and DeVito. That's probably the best Marsala wine you can get.
I thought the Cabrelli and DeVito were cousins of yours back in Italy. I thought they...
Well, if I look in my tree, I'll check it out and see. But there's a story coming, but don't worry.
All
but
right.
The Marsala wine, you want to put it in towards the middle of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I'll show you when I get to that point, because I don't like to be rushed when I'm cooking.
All
but
right,
that's okay.
Say no more. I guess he told me.
You got your 8-ounce chicken breast, and you've got a high side and a low side. So have the high side towards you when you're going to make your medallions. And, of course, watch your fingers and just cut. Press down just a little bit as you're cutting.
Right.
And you're making a medallion.
And you're slicing at an angle. You're not just kind of slicing down, straight down the whole chicken breast
What
there.
you're trying to do is fillet it. And usually one order is probably 4 to 6 ounces of chicken.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Marsala comes from Italy. But now it's being, produced in California because everything that they need is here in California. But the original, just like balsamic, it comes from Italy.
Right.
And that's probably the best that you want to get. I don't say nothing. There's two types of people in this world, Italians and those who want to be. So it's better to do it, with Italian products if you want Italian flavor.
I do fall into the other. Yeah, that's about the only thing I'm not is Italian. Greek, German, Swedish, and French.
Well,
Canadian.
Next life.
Next life,
Next life.
Right.
So, as I'm saying, what I'm doing is just filleting it down, and it's real easy to do. Just be careful, but use the pressure of your hand on the chicken, and you can feel the blade going through. If you don't feel it, then you might want to check your fingers, because you might be cutting.
All right. Now, did you kind of like butterfly that chicken before you started to?
No.
No? Okay,
it's just a regular 8-ounce chicken breast.
And you don't pound it or anything like that?
No, because I'm going to fillet it here.
Okay.
Only pounding that you'll do if you want to change over and do veal marsala.
Okay.
Then you will pound the veal out.
Okay.
What I'm doing now is I'm going to go ahead and saute the butter and onions because it's going to take a little time to caramelize. And then when we come back, we'll go ahead and start learning how to make it. And then third sec, we'll plate it. And of course, Jenny Craig told me to make sure we get everybody heavy here today. So I just in case you haven't.
Chef Robert always makes the breakfast sandwiches, the apple Danish this morning. Thank goodness the Boy Scouts are in the audience this morning. They can help make sure we don't eat all of that pastry. All right, Chef Robert, we'll be back in just a little bit. Meantime, Jeremy Wheeler in the studio.
Thank you.
All right, we're back in the kitchen with Executive Master Chef of City Dock Restaurant, Robert Cillizza. Making chicken marsala this morning. You've done quite a bit since last we were here. And you said, this isn't something you're doing on a real high heat. You're saying low heat is kind of...
Low heat,
take your time.
You simmer this as you're cooking. And when you go to a restaurant and you wonder why it's taking 15 or 20 minutes to get food, it's because the chef is creating. He's not cooking. He's creating. So that's what we're doing. We're letting it take its time. We're not rushing through a drive-through window. We're actually making you a meal that you're going to remember and want to come back for.
All right, so order an appetizer and simmer down, right? That's what you're saying. Enjoy yourself.
Adding the marsala, and please don't overpower it with the marsala. You don't need that much.
I notice you're not measuring, so you've learned to eyeball it, but for us mere mortals, how much would you put in?
Maybe about an ounce.
Okay.
Chicken stock, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of broth to it. And then let it simmer. And as it's simmering, I'm going to go ahead and flour the medallions of chicken. Shake off the excess flour, and we're going to put it into the marsala. And again, let that simmer and take its time. Now, because it's so thin, it doesn't take long to cook.
Right.
It's real easy.
Now, when I cook at home, I always feel like I have to cook the chicken first before I add. It's some folks like myself. I thought it wasn't safe to put raw chicken in after you've started cooking something else.
No, well, you got the temperature right there. You're over 180 as you're cooking right now. So,
okay.
And of course, as I said, it's real thin. So it's going to come to that point, and you've got at least another 5 to 8 minutes of cooking time still to follow.
Right.
Got the water on. We're going to shock the pasta. What that is bringing it back to life after we've pre-cooked it the day before. Today we're using bow tie pasta. You can use whatever you want. If you want to use a linguine, if you want to use any other type, you can use elbow macaroni, whatever people enjoy.
Yeah.
And to me, bow tie pasta is probably the best. It's called
friendly.
farfalle. Yeah, very fork friendly. That's the whole thing.
Can I put it in? Do you want me to put it in? Can I help you?
Not yet. In a couple minutes, we'll put that in.
All right, so I can just continue to stand here and be in awe of you. That's it, huh?
And you can see what's happening now. As I said, it's been in there a few minutes.
Yep.
And I've turned it over, and you can see it's already almost cooked.
Now, when does the roux come in?
The roux will come in at the last minute. When I'm ready to put the cover back on, I'll put it in and put the cover on it, turn it real down real low, and you're going to see everything thicken up in the next segment. It's perfect.
All right.
And it's really nice.
What's going on there at City Dock these days? Do you change your menu with the season?
We just did. We just pulled off what wasn't the best selling and put on some new items.
Yep.
It's really nice. We also have jazz night every Friday night. Last Friday, you just about could get in there. That's how busy it was.
Great.
So it's really doing good. We're having the Thanksgiving buffet, so if you want to get in on it, I mean, we're filling up quick. And it's a heck of a meal. It's probably going to be from about 12 to 5.
Okay.
That's really nice. We have wine tasting on Wednesday. Come down Wednesday and see it. And if you have nothing else to do, when I was a young kid, I went to, when I was in Italy now, don't get upset now. My dad, we begged him to take us to Disney World, so finally he did. Finally took us to Disney World. And we went there, and you know, I was only 4 maybe. I asked him for a souvenir. And he said, well, what do you want? I said, can I get that Mickey Mouse hat? He said, your ears are big enough. You don't need a Mickey Mouse hat. I said, okay. I says, can I get a souvenir? He says, you got the coupon that the guy ripped when you came in? That's your souvenir. My dad has the same money when he was in high school and grammar school for lunch money. So that's
he must
why
be very thin.
He is.
If he never spent his lunch money.
Never spent a dime.
All right. All right. We're going to let this, you said this needs a little more time to cook.
A little bit more
time. We'll let you work on that and the pasta, and then we'll come back. All right, we're back in the Hampton Roadshow kitchen with the Executive Master Chef of City Dock Restaurant, Robert Cillizza, making chicken marsala. And it is time, I promised him something shocking.
Yes.
Time to shock the pasta, right?
Yes.
So you made this ahead of time, so we're not really cooking it. You said we're just kind of waking it up?
Waking it up just a bit, yep.
Al dente.
Okay.
So how long is it going to stay in here?
Should be taking it out right now.
Oh, right now? Okay. Like this?
Yep.
Like fishing? It's not going to fit. It's going to be a disaster.
Let me show you. I'll show you.
How are you going to do it?
Use your spoon.
Oh, so you just kind of fish it back in. All right, so you take it out a little bit at a time.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to catch it all.
No.
I was nervous there. All right. Now is probably a good time to bring in Josh Haw.
Okay.
Because you mentioned, people are going to come into the City Dock restaurant. They're going to order the Marsala. They're going to have a little time. So why don't maybe sip a nice glass of wine?
That's right. That's right. And our first wine today is the Rombauer Merlot from Carneros, California. And I always think of Merlot as like baby skin. So silky and so smooth. And this one's going to pair so well with the sweetness from the Marsala wine.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
I was going to say with wine in the dish. And, that's very flavorful. You probably have to be careful what you put with it.
That's right.
Nothing too competitive.
Exactly. Yeah,
all right. So what else did you
go
bring?
with it? Well, also brought a Pinot Noir from California also, from Santa Barbara County, further south than Carneros, from Aubon Clement. So beautiful Pinot. If you ever see the old movie Sideways, they stopped by here. So.
I will not drink Merlot unless it's this one.
Exactly. But #1 choice, and then the Pinot's going to work so well also. And they pair so well off, like I said, off the sweetness of the Marsala. So.
All right, Chef Rob was telling us about some of the things going on at the restaurant, Thanksgiving and new fall menu.
Lots of good stuff, yes. The jazz nights are doing very well now, and we have Jim Newsom playing next. It's coming Friday, 8 to 11, every Friday evening. And we're also doing part of the Taste of Norfolk at Homerama on the 25th. Oh. So join us up on East Beach there to try some of our samplings. So.
We're going to talk a lot more about Homerama in just a second.
Yes.
Before our show is over today, you're going to hear a lot more about Homerama. All right, that looks terrific. You're ready to plate?
Ready to plate.
All right, we'll be back to taste in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Looks good. Thanks, Josh.
All right.